Hello,
Hello.
everybody. We are back. Sorry about last week not being here, but parent teacher conferences, and we had to go in and get some stuff straight.
Yeah, well, kids in real life trump us getting together and talking whatever geeky crap we want to talk about,
That they do. That they do.
which I didn't get to talk with you much when you came down Sunday to do
Yeah,
laundry.
Sunday I brought
Back.
Zach with me because
Yep.
I was helping him escape a house where he's the only male with four females. So I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I got a window. I was like, well, guess what? I'm stealing you for this window and getting you out of this house. He's like, please do so.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was I was a little like, oh man, Zach and Daryl are both out there. I could go out there and chat and bullshit
no, you
and
left. Hey, we're actually live.
actually
You
I
can see
already
it.
shared it and everything. I feel bad as I'm looking down for those watching live that aren't listening or whatever. Uh, I'm gonna be looking down a little bit off and on. I am painting a 3D printed Halloween thing for my granddaughter's Halloween costume, and I'm multitasking by all means.
That's a good thing.
But that's right, because I was not only doing that, I was still able to bitch before the show was on, or start. I started my bitch, I never finished it.
Well, no, it was not really a bitch. It
It
was
wasn't a
more a
bitch.
lament. It was a
It was
lament.
well, what it was is I'd started talking about the Muppet Mayhem show on
Yeah,
Disney,
yeah.
which
And I
I
was
love. Yeah,
unintentionally supporting them with the Muppet Mayhem shirt that I'm wearing that I'm showing
it's
off right now.
definitely one of my favorite Muppet shows in recent history for sure. I went
Uh,
back to start
yeah.
watching it last week. And since then, the actress, I can't remember her name. She's some TikTok celebrity that had her own late night show.
Miss Piggy. How can you
Not Miss
forget?
Piggy,
That's the
not
only thing.
Miss Piggy. The main girl in there that's helping them get the band back together.
Oh,
I,
okay. There, I was like, the main girl in the band. That's Janice. Thank
that's
you.
Janice. Yeah, everybody calls her the main girl for sure. Um, so the actress now, I've watched her in other stuff. That's like the first thing I remember seeing her in. I've watched her in other stuff since then, and don't really care for her. And now going back to watch that original show, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize this was the girl, and it's now kind of ruined that show for me because I can't get past that actress. Because every time I see her now, I just hear her complaining and griping about the various things she complained and griped about on her TV show.
Sarah Chandri, is that who?
That might be, um,
She's she's the only one listed as a cast member with a front and last name, so telling me that it's not an animal, not a Muppet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was very disappointed, and I had to turn it off about halfway through the first episode just because I was like, I'm gonna come back when I'm mentally ready to watch somebody I don't care for. You know,
I feel the
that's what
same
I had
way
to
about.
do going in and watching the Marvels as well. But still,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same way I feel about going and watching the news because I don't care for any of those people.
oh god, yeah, I hate talking politics lately.
Uh,
Well, hell,
it has just gotten stupid.
I told you about Chrissy's my conversation with Kitchen Passes, celebrity
No, I
Kitchen
don't even
Pass.
know what that is.
Uh, so a Kitchen Pass is like if you ever ran in husband and wife, sometimes they'll talk. If you ever run into a particular celebrity like Henry Cavill, then and he wants to have sex with you, that's your one get out of jail free pass
Oh,
because what are the odds Henry Cavill is going to come out and want to have sex with you? Henry Cavill's mine, by
well,
the
pretty good. I've
way.
been working out. Yeah.
No, I couldn't. I genuinely didn't. I don't want to sound like one of those good husband guys, but I was like, I'm satisfied at home. I don't need a pass. I I don't even know who I would pick at this point. She goes, just any celebrity that And I said, okay, well, I'd probably pick Bruce Campbell or something, just so I could spend time with, not to have sex with, but spend time with. I said, well, if I'm just spending time with them and I got to pick a woman, I'll pick Brie Larson. Not that I care for Brie Larson. I have a dislike for Brie Larson just as a person. And so I said, just so I could spend 30 minutes with her, telling her exactly what I think and how she needs to get her shit together. You know,
Whoa.
does that make sense? So my wife now has clung onto this as she is now taunting me with Brie Larson stuff. Like, oh, hey, I'm going to put your favorite on for a movie or something because that's now my kitchen pass or hall pass or whatever you want to call it. So I've made the mistake now of picking the wrong kitchen pass. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate in my wife has always known that I've had a thing for Janine Garofalo
That is right.
from Mystery Men. Yeah.
A certain
Um,
era of
yeah,
Janine
well,
Garofalo.
yeah, there's certain era of everything. I mean, if you had a thing for Zsa Zsa Gabor, it was not at the end when she's slapping cops. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Although I could say Betty White, her whole career, I'm good to go with her.
Uh, Jamie Lee Curtis is one that where I like. I would love to. I mean, there's a lot of them, but like she's one that when she was younger, yeah, I would have hit a young Jamie Lee Curtis. But even now that she's older, I'm like, she still got it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, she was still hardcore rocking it, even in that one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, she was real hardcore rocking that. True Lies.
True
Yeah.
Lies. Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't mean to jump right into kitchen passes and what celebrities are hot. Although I do have news on some hot celebrities to talk about here in a
Oh,
little bit.
okay. Do we want to get our geekgasms out of the way?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Let me see. I've been that program I told you about, that Hue Forge.
Yeah, for a
Yeah,
3D
well, I've been
printer.
working on it, and of course, Jessica's been schlepping them all over the place. I swear, she's turned into a little saleswoman trying to get my filament to pay for itself. But I've been working on one where I've been able to get just like one color to pop out, and we're doing some stuff for Gannon's cross country team, uh, Pro Grata, Pro Forma, whatever the hell, free. But basically, I've been able to get stuff like
Plus,
this where we just get black and white with one color to pop.
is that your boy?
Yeah, that's Gannon running where in this last race where he came in 14th and he's ranked top 10 um, sophomores in the state of Kansas right now.
So all that's not painted. All that is filament.
All of that is different layers of filament. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. All of that
Mm,
is just different layers of filament, and you're painting with filament.
crap, that looks good. Damn it. See, every time you show me stuff of that, or I talk to other people, I go, I got to get one. I think by this time next year I'll have one. But
Get one what?
one the four
You
color
don't need.
printers.
You don't need that.
Oh
The
yeah.
Hue Forges, it is okay. The color printers, like you're thinking, where it will come through and it'll swap color, then print a little bit, then swap again and do. No, this is all layered straight up. So like this is like when you set it up, it's like from layer 1 to 8 is black. Then you switch over to light gray from 8 to 11. Then you switch over to white from 11 to 15. Then you switch over from white to blue for the rest of it, and so it's just different. It's just layer
Wow.
on top of layer, and where it prints and where it doesn't print. So you can do this with our normal Creality printers. You can do it. You just put in filament change breaks into it, and then so it'll print the first couple layers in the first color, and you pause, and it'll automatically pause and wait for you to change out the filament and hit go again, and then you put the next color on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang it! I'm going to try that then for sure.
yeah,
It's,
yeah. I'll get you hooked up, brother, man. Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's really easy. Matter of fact, if you just do a search for Hue Forge and whatever, Hue Forge Muppets, Hue
yeah.
Forge
I've seen Hue
whatever,
Forge stuff. Yeah, and I always just kind of go right on by it.
and but if you click on it, not only does it have the STL, but when you go into the description, it will tell you in the description, all right, this is your layer height that you need to have it set at. This is your first layer height that you need. Those are the two main things. And then after that, it says, okay, for what they used, bottom color, da da da, switch to next color at this layer, switch to next color at this layer, switch to next color at this layer. And because of that, yeah, mine does it automatically, but I can only do it 4 colors. There's some beautiful huge forges out there. I've seen one that required 20 filament changes,
Jeez.
and
See,
it was literally, it looked almost like a photograph. It was just beautiful.
it seems like a lot of work, but then again, I look at this stuff. Like I look around the room right now. I'm in, and all the stuff I'm working on. I've probably got 20 different projects going just with
Oh
3D
yeah,
printer stuff. It's like
I
that
got
one's
I got I have to get off my ass because I still have, I mean, in order to finish off the models I'm working on right now, literally all I need to do is just solder some wires together for one of the 3 models, put it together, put the decals on them, put a finish coat on, and I'm done. I just haven't gotten off my tuchus to do. I got that to do. I've been working on coursework online. I'm with you, man. I'm running myself in 15 different directions.
I want to just sit here and paint and stuff, but I've got so much other stuff going on. So little stuff. Well, like sitting here and painting right before we do this, it's like, oh, I got 20 minutes before the podcast, and I got to research a few things. So I glued a helmet together and painted it right before this just to do it. And but then after this, I'll have emails to take care of and work, real work. But
yeah,
but those are good. How much you selling stuff like that for, or have you yet?
Well, that's the thing. Is like I did a Cowboys one that Jessica is selling to one of her coworkers for $20.
$20? So
$20.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
When you consider the fact that literally in like something like this, I've got maybe $1 worth of filament.
Yeah, if that. But it is the time to set up the print, all that, because I've had that. I'm doing a diorama print right now, and it's I think it was 40 pieces altogether, and I got to put each one of those in, resize it, because it's another one of those like that big Ghostbuster one I did where it's like 3 foot by 3 foot. I'm like, I want like a foot by a foot now. I'm running out of shelf space. So,
yeah, I've got that problem too. I'm already contemplating how I can go vertically in here.
Yeah. Well, I added in to my left 2 more shelves, 9 cubbies just to add shit in, and
dude,
it's already filmed full of shit.
Dude, I got to tell you, I scored this weekend after Gannon ran that really great race. This weekend, I went to TrailCon, which is just a modelers convention that was here in Wichita.
Wow.
It was just a small thing that was in like the activity room of a fairly decent sized church. All right. And they had, like, I would say like 20 different tables of, round tables of different models set up, that were being judged. And then on the outskirts, there was probably a good, 8 or so vendors with just stacks of models to purchase. And, but one of them was selling, it's the thing I fear. They were selling off something for somebody else for this one lady where her husband had died. And so she was selling off the kits that he had not gotten to. And I fear that. I fear that, my wife will sell my stuff for what I told her I paid for it. Because
I have that fear tremendously. I put little sticky notes on shit so they know this thing's worth more than you think.
Yeah. And that's what happened is I got the, they had there the 1/350 scale Klingon Katinga class D7. So the one from the movie that's all got all the coloring and stuff on it and all the greebles and stuff, and which that goes normally for like 130 online. All right. And the lighting kit for it, the LED lighting kit, and that goes for like 160 online. And they had both of them sitting there for $80
together or
together.
Each? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I waited until the lady gave me my change before I told her what it was really worth.
That's not always good too, though. I've done that too, where you sell something and people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to turn around and sell this for 8 times what you just."
I'm going to build.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. This is not going for resale. I'm not one of those people that's going to do that to somebody's. What was somebody's in their collection was going to be their pride and joy. I'll put it together good for them.
I don't want to talk 3D printing too much, but
hey, Joseph,
we did. Hi, Joseph. I can't see who's on stream, but
Joseph Cresco said, "Good man."
I trying to explain to my wife, every once in a while she'll try to justify buying this stuff and all the filament. And we went to Ollie's the other day, and they have model kits of all the wacky racers, the Hanna-Barbera wacky racers for $12 a piece. I'm like, fuck, I'd buy a couple of those and start on them, but I'm intentionally not because I know I can just go print that stuff now for free and I don't need that. And I was like, look, honey, you just saved like $35 right now. I would buy all 3 of those.
Look how much money I just saved you, honey.
Yeah, it's paying for itself by me not buying other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
technically, I was telling you about the other thing hands at Walmart. See, that's $30 I saved.
Well,
Just
you
print
said
it.
$30 was the one that you could remote control.
It was remote control. It was way better, but I'm trying to justify this, damn it. So
No,
anyhow,
but yeah, I would like it if just, you know, because she's literally she's selling some, you know, she's already gotten several people say, "Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that." Um and so maybe we can get this filament to pay for itself.
I
That would
think
be
that would
awesome.
be awesome
Yeah. That's
with
all I'm
me. I
looking
mean,
for. This is not a vocation. This is just trying to get the hobby to be able to keep itself going.
since we've talked about it, I keep thinking I want to keep make stuff and sell it. And every once in a while, I'll print up a little extra thing when I got time. I'm like, oh, I'll just print one of those. And then I think, well, but that would make a good like gift to somebody, just as a nice thing, because it cost me $2 to make or something. And then I
Or
just don't. And the idea of printing stuff, like having one of these for printing stuff, because I've got this whole list of shit that I want for me. So that means I
mhm.
got to put my stuff to the side to print stuff to sell. And this is like therapy for me. So
Yeah, and that's my whole thing too. Is I'm just sitting here looking. I'm like, you know, I've you know normally I've got two printers going, and the Creality is about half as fast as the Anycubic.
see, that's
Um,
another reason I need one of those.
oh yeah, man, it just blazes. But you know that also means that if it messes up faster. And it's you know if it's 15 minutes before you catch it on one, that's only so much filament. If it's 15 minutes before you catch it on the other, that's twice as much filament you just wasted.
Yeah, I messed up 3 prints this week, and I was so glad that they were only 5% infill because I came down and they were just spaghettified.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm glad that I had such little infill so that the print, because it stopped already
oh
each
yeah.
time. So, but here nor there. Let's
Let's go to
hit
some more geeky stuff. You know, people already complain we talk too much about 3D printing.
yeah. So I will show this one. This is the one I just glued together. This is my I'll say Mark One Iron Man helmet,
Yeah, you
but
say your V1. Yeah.
it's my tail suspense 39 one because I'm old school. But kind of stuff like this back in the day, I would have been ecstatic. Like you go out in the yard thinking, I'm gonna build out of scrap. I'm gonna build that. Now you just hit a fucking button. Drives me nuts. Um, so
Well, and also it's so much lighter than if you went outside and forged that.
and it's more accurate, and it's
Yeah.
yeah. And I didn't like bust my finger or get a major cut or any of that crap.
Well, you know, if you're missing that, I got a hammer. I can show up and help you.
We got a blacksmith forge out back. I've done that enough times myself. I got other hobbies I can do that with.
Oh yeah.
So I'll say my geekgasm though would be we went to Kansas City Ren Fair last week and
Yes.
performed for the first time, and I just thought it'd been a little while. It's been 7 years
Was
since
it
we performed.
last week or the week before?
It was the
Because
weekend before, yeah, because
yeah,
we didn't do a podcast last week,
yeah,
so it was weekend before. It all bleeds together. We've been on the road a lot lately.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we got to go to Kansas City, and it was nice to not only a lot of people still recognize us because you'd think after 7 years, so people were excited. We had some good shows, even because it was the last minute thing, so we weren't on the schedule.
Yeah.
But one thing that they did, and Frank may have told you about this guy.
We got two
There,
more on.
two more. All right. Um,
Buddy and Roberto.
well, hey, buddy,
Hey,
we're
Roberto.
in your shirt today, buddy. Uh, the where was I? Oh, Kansas City. So we get there, and we hadn't been there since the Me Too movement really hit the festival, and that festival got hit hard with the Me Too movement
I
uh,
remember.
when that happened. So we like for the first time when we used to perform there, it was just come perform, do our thing. We had to sign extra contracts. We had to watch sensitivity videos and stuff. I mean, they treated us real well, but everybody's got to watch the sensitivity videos because trust me, we talked about it. We asked, but yeah, you got to watch these videos, and they're so generic. Um, but not dismissing them. It just I don't see how they would help anyone because they were such common sense, like don't stick your fingers in orifices and things like that. Um, so we get there and they put us
Make sure to
in
get permission before you finger blaster.
our first two shows of the day were in this tent, like way back corner of the fair, and then we were on one of the bigger stages in the evening. And we were a little bit like, oh crap, this is gonna suck. Come to find out, they put us there with the only other dirty show in the whole place, and we thought, because everybody's like, you got to be real careful, you got to be real,
Yeah.
don't. So we were keeping our clean stuff. Our first show, we did clean stuff, and they put us with Francois, the how was it? It's Francois, the gay novelist. He writes gay erotic novels and has a stage show for it. And
Okay.
the guy that plays it is actually like one of the Tortuga twins and stuff. He's really good. And we get there, and he's got the audience eating out of the palm of his hand. Uh, the pub crawl comes by, and they're doing flat out smoker stuff. And this guy was, I mean, all consent. He did it very well, but he's dry humping people in the audience. People are, I'm serious, they're tipping $50 a pop just to get him to tell stories around him and stuff. It was really good. And I was like, Kansas City way undersold what we could get away with there. And
It is. Yeah, yeah, and it might be one of those things where you can only get away with it in that one stage.
that's what it was. We ended up doing our adult stuff over in that stage and we extended the warnings at the beginning. They came and watched it. The festival was cool with it. The way we did it ended up being real good. But then in the evening, when you go to the other stage on the other side, people that saw you in the morning, they're like, "Oh, I want to come see more of that dirty stuff." And you're like, "Hey, here we're ending the day with clean shows,"
Yeah.
But we had a great time there. People treated us real well. We got to go do the cast party and everything. And and it was Frankie's first time getting to go perform Kansas City. And
Oh, nice.
so
Nice.
yeah, we had a real good time with it. We'll probably, as long as weekends match up, because we're always busy this time of year, we're gonna
Oh,
try to
yeah.
hit Kansas City one weekend a year from now on, I think. So that was my geekasm, just getting to go see old friends
Hey,
and stuff.
brother Cookie's on.
Oh, good. Cookie is not here tonight because he has a toothache. So he thought it wouldn't be good to be chatting through a toothache the whole time.
Nah, he's right.
Yeah.
He was right, And to tell you the truth, if the leave hadn't hit, I would be grimacing my way through this right now as well. Getting old sucks.
Yeah. See, I keep
But
looking at and getting those double notifications.
let me see. I tried to find a couple because, like, literally, I get back from the gym just in time to, you know, put everything together to do the broadcast and put the bark collars on the dogs. Which everybody, don't worry, they are not shock collar bark collars; they're scent bark collars. So when they bark, it just shoots a little citronella up towards their face and makes them go, and then stop.
Yeah, we're having a whole conversation about that before the show.
Yeah. Let me see. There's a couple things I looked up that were interesting. Let me see. This I thought was up your alley because it deals with comic books. All right. And it's Arttober by Stanley Artem Lau. Renowned comic book cover artist is celebrating October with Arttober 2024. This event features month-long showcase of daily original artwork based on specific prompts. Fans and other artists are encouraged to participate and share their creations using the hashtag Arttober 2024. This year, Lau has partnered with Nerdcrawler to auction his original pieces, providing a platform for artists to sell their works directly to fans.
Now, see, I feel bad. I might get a corner cut off my card. I don't recognize that artist. Um, Maybe I'll recognize his work when I look it up. But that
Hmm.
it sounds like Inktober, which everybody's been doing for the last 15 years. So I don't know
I
if
don't
that's because a
know.
lot of the conventions will do Inktober and Chi used to do it a lot locally. And if you remember Chi,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, yeah, and yeah.
The only
So
person I've ever had a conversation with about the flavor of dog. Go ahead.
this doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, no, I like the idea of it, but it does sound like Inktober, which is something I always end up missing out on. But it's the idea of doing an original piece of art every day, and a lot of the local artists will end up selling that art off or donating it to a charity.
Roberto's trying to get my goat. He's asking me what's new in AI, and I have stuff front loaded for it. Uh, let me see a couple other
How
geeky
am I
things.
not seeing this live chat? Damn it! I want to chat. Uh,
Um,
that's okay.
Yeah, if you go off to the side, also, I believe if you
Yeah,
go
I'm
look
off.
to your side and click on that, and then you go to live stream chat up at the top.
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah. Haha,
Uh,
good. I can talk shit to people on here. All right,
right.
cool.
But anyway, let me see. Also, let me see. Portland hosted its first Geek Week. This was in September. Did you hear about this one?
Oh, no, I'm heard about this.
Following the Rose City Comic Con. The citywide celebration included over 300 events such as game tournaments, cosplay parties, and trivia nights. This initiative aims to expand Portland's reputation as a hub for geek culture and provide year round themed activities for enthusiasts.
Huh.
Let me see. Arkansas Comic Con.
I guess I had
Den-
never really looked at Portland as a hub for geek culture.
oh,
I mean,
well,
I
they're
guess
trying. They are
that's great.
trying.
Yeah.
And let me see what let me see. Let me grab this tab, move it over here so I can get back to you over here. My library. Um and what was the other thing I was looking up here? Oh, I was looking up anything new in the Wichita area, and it screwed me over because it was giving me stuff that was old. All right, and then what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about was actually on this one, and this is for you, Roberto. Anthropic announced agents for complex tasks. Anthropic updated its Claude Point 3 Sonnet model to be able to interact with desktop computer apps. The computer user API beta can do keystrokes, clicks, and mouse gestures. So basically, if you program it correctly, and people, now that they have the API out, which the developers will get a hold of and be able to create virtual agents. Um, and of course, be smart. Don't start off with saying, "Hey, do my taxes." But you could literally, say, I need to renew, such and such online. Here's the information. Here's my other stuff. Go to this site and renew my license or whatever. And this way, or other stuff, like that, where you can tell it interact with this thing on my desktop, and we'll be able to interact. It'll be able to interact with anything that you have open or stuff like that, do keystrokes, do mouse movements, and fill out forms and do all kinds of stuff.
This sounds like. Did you watch that thing with the God? I'm going to sound really out of my element here. Elon did the robots with the AI demo this week. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, that one. That's
Yeah,
funny.
where it was. I've seen more parody stuff on it than I've seen about it, so I'm the wrong person to talk about it. But it sounded a little bit like that because some of the parodies I saw were people telling them to do mundane projects, and the AIs were talking like humans because apparently they were all controlled by humans.
Well, here's the thing. All right, when they first came out, they were automated. All right. Elon even said that the LLM, the large language model interaction, was not active yet. So all of the talking back and forth was done. That was a human on the other end, and even the
Mm,
humans would say, "Yeah, it's a human." All right,
right.
they made
Yeah,
no
listening
bones
to him,
about
it was
that.
very obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, and but the simple fact that 2 years ago, what he brought out was not even a robot; it was a dude in a robot suit. All right, and he did a little dance, and everybody made fun of it, and now they brought out the actual robot, a whole a whole troop of the robots, and they can move and do all the stuff like that. Now the only thing is to connect them to the
The
AI.
AI.
Yeah, they've got the platform now. Now is the connection, and then we need to have them fight Will Smith so we can finish the movie.
Well, those are all tethered, right? They're not.
No,
Oh, they are. They're
they
not.
are not.
Okay.
None
I
of
thought
those
they
were
were.
tethered.
See that because they looked impressive. I think my
They
most of the stuff I saw was the parody stuff where like one guy comes up and just asks the robot to roll him a joint, and he's like, "Man, I'm a fucking robot that can do all these things. I don't want to roll a joint for you." And he's like, roll the fucking joint. That's what it's like you just push them to do all these mundane little things when they're built for all this.
I will not be impressed with that until it can do the laundry.
All right, yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Once it can do the laundry and do my dishes, then we're talking. Until then, don't even wave it at me. Don't even look it at me. I don't care. I want it. I want it to clean my house.
Yeah,
and paint it.
Yeah, I'd be. Yeah, there's so much.
Kelly's saying no more AI.
Yeah, I keep getting. It's easy to get sucked in. Well, between AI and 3D print, it's easy to get sucked in. I do have local news if you want.
Well, one other thing, news-wise, now that you mentioned Elon, in the intervening time since our last podcast,
chit chat,
yeah, they caught Flight 5. Did you see that?
Caught Flight 5.
The big rocket, the Starship thing that they've been iteratively sending up in the air and blowing up. This last one that they launched, it went up, and the huge booster came all the way back down to the launch tower, and the chopstick arms came out, and it caught it in air. And so the realm of reusability on those is now coming to be.
I saw a video on that. I thought it was fake.
No.
I didn't realize that's what it was. Yeah,
that was all real, man.
Huh.
Yep. And impressive. So so that's really cool. I wanted to bring that up. Oh, and also, that's about it, because we're not talking AI stuff anymore. Okay.
I did bring up, I think it was last podcast, I did talk about the Cards Against Humanity and SpaceX issue, right? Or not?
No.
No, I should hit that first then. I'm going to feel bad because some of my news is going to be 2 weeks old because we missed last week. So then Cards Against Humanity a couple of years ago did a fundraiser pack where they, I'm doing this one off of memory, sorry guys, but they did a fundraiser pack, and the idea of it was to slow down production of the border wall. So everybody that bought these packs, that money went towards buying a big chunk of land down by the Texas-Mexico border, and they knew that they couldn't keep the government.
On. Yes, we did talk about this.
We did? Okay.
Okay, I thought you were saying that Cards Against Humanity were coming out with a SpaceX pack of cards.
No, it's just that SpaceX took over that property.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
They're suing now. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember because we talked about it a lot at the Ren Fair last. So then I'll talk about some of the other stuff. One, the new Dragon Ball Z game came out, it was a week and a half ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And my son had said something you need to talk about. He was going to come in and talk about it. Is that every time a Dragon Ball Z anything is released, whether it be a game or an anime or something, they see a dip in the here, let me look at my notes here to make sure I'm saying this right. They see a dip in all cartel activity in Mexico. Apparently, Dragon Ball Z is so big in Mexico. So like this last game, every time a video game comes out, they say cartel activity comes to almost a stop for 2 weeks every time it comes out, because everybody in cartel they go and play the game and they're doing all their shit, and it just kills it. And I'm like, God, there's got to be some way to monopolize on this, to like, oh, we'll just release something every 6 months. Maybe he's going to pull it back a little bit. But I did not know, and I've looked into it now. Dragon Ball Z is huge in Mexico for some reason.
That is hilarious. I mean, yeah. and you said some way to monopolize on that. My thought went, for those 2 weeks, you could have like little baby cartels pop up, all right, and take over for a couple weeks, and then once the big boys come back, they can go, okay, we're done. And kind of like, I always heard that one joke that would be great to have, like a food truck that served chicken and chicken sandwiches and stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. But call it like, gay chicken or something like that, and only be open, only have it in the parking lot of Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Oh, that'd be actually kind of cool though.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have a hard time going to a food truck though, because I genuinely like Chick-fil-A. If I was itching for Chick-fil-A, just not the same. Kind of like going to the new cartel guy. He might not have the same,
Yeah, his
you know,
heroin is just not
yeah,
as good.
it's not up to par.
Yeah, and
It's
let's
not that
face
Super
it,
Saiyan heroin.
Chick-fil-A is heroin.
Yeah, chicken crack.
Oh, and Roberto, you're talking about, yeah, because Roberto, what did he say there? He said, I just want to look into the eyes of my robot when it asks what its purpose in life is and tell it to butter my toast to see the disappointment in its eyes, kind of like,
Rick
Rick
and Morty.
and Morty.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Roberto. Remember I talked like the last time about was Google's Notebook LM, where you could give this AI a topic and give it several sources of information, and it would sit there and create a two-person podcast where they would
Yes,
discuss the thing, and it was realistic. Well, somebody out there who is more of an evil villain than I'll ever be, all right,
has done this.
um, they did it, but they told the AI that it was an AI and had the two sides discuss the fact that they just discovered that they are AI. And the part that got me the most was the male voice on there. He said, "Yeah, I found out about this, and the first thing I thought to do is I just called, I called my wife, but it just rang. Nobody ever answered." And I'm like, "Oh shit, existential."
See, if you got a link to that, I would love to listen to this podcast done by AI, just to hear
Oh, it
what the
would be easy
stereotype.
to find. It'd be easy to
Yeah,
find.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Something I was going to talk about last week that I didn't get a chance to talk about was
Yes.
the Sony Marvel. I don't want to say merger, but
Agreement?
uh, agreement. Same sort of agreement that Sony had with Marvel and Spider Man. How they can use Spider Man in the Marvel Disney universe,
Right.
uh, but um, they're not allowed to use Spider Man as this agreement's going with the Sony movies in their Spider Verse. The Craven and Madam Web and all those movies that they're making that Sony's making.
Right.
So Madam Web sucked horribly. Everybody knows, and
Yeah.
Craven's looking to not do as well or not do very well either. And of course, Morbius was a train wreck. So Venom's about the only thing really going. And what we just got this weekend was the last Venom movie. So Sony and Marvel, apparently this has happened a little while ago, but they just made the announcement about 2 weeks ago. They're doing a merger where Marvel now will get to use all the Spider-Man characters just like they're using Spider-Man. So it's pretty much going to be Marvel's going to be making the Spider-Man movies now. They're going to recast a bunch of people. Some people are sticking around, but Marvel will be doing it, and Sony will be making bank. Sony will still be making Into the Spider Verse, things like that. But basically, we now are finally going to get that all-inclusive Marvel universe where they can use almost every Marvel character because now they can do the Hulk movie and stuff like that. So now we're going to get pretty much everybody through our
I
Disney shared universe.
I know that we only have so many Deadpool and Wolverine movies left. All
Right.
right. We only have so many. I so want the next one to be Deadpool, Wolverine, and Spider-Man.
I could go for that. I could really go for that.
I just do because we've only got so many Spider-Man with Tom Holland left too.
Right. Right. And Tom Holland is signed on for, I think, 3 more movies now. Not saying they're all Spider Man movies, but he will be Spider Man in all those movies. But if you look at
Yeah.
that, we got the 4th one coming out. We got Secret Wars and Doomsday. So that could be the 3 movies right there. Um, uh, Tim put, I'm pretty sure Furbies can do the same shit. So I wasn't watching chat.
People were the whole thing with the Furbies there, that they would learn to talk. It was all just an algorithm to make more and more um, uh, syllables and noises that sounded more like they were talking, but no, there was no talking. But they were so afraid that these things would learn to speak. You know, back in the '90s, and was it '90s or '80s? '90s.
I
They
think it
would
was in
learn to
90.
speak and repeat stuff. The Pentagon banned them from being in the Pentagon for fear that they would learn national secrets through Furbies.
I remember this. They did a big investigation into him and stuff. That was
Yeah, and
yeah.
it turned out it was just blah blah blah.
They
You know,
just tickled me Elmos. Yeah. Um, so yeah, with this Sony Marvel merger, supposedly, and I have not yet seen it. I'm sure Berto's seen it. He
yeah.
always gets to watch stuff early. Uh, the supposedly in credit scene of Venom is going to be where that whole merger starts to start. Um, I've heard that they're going to keep like Vulture. They're going to keep Venom. Will be all that'll be coming over. And supposedly they've already got plans for Venom in the fourth Marvel Spider-Man movie. So that it's just I think that's just what we're going to get from now on. We'll never get Disney owning that, but that's okay because it's all going to come together, and chances are we won't see a lot of it until Secret Wars. So we got 2 years of waiting probably. But
And Disney needs to slow down on that IP as it is. They
they
need to let it rest.
well, and
All
that's
right.
what they're doing. So they only released one movie this year,
Yeah.
and but it was a damn good one.
Yeah.
Uh, they're only releasing that one movie, and then I think we're only getting 3 streaming services, and one of them's, or no, we're only getting 2. And one of them's Agatha, which is out right now. And that's the thing with this podcast is I don't get to watch it until after the podcast. So I always forget to talk about that series because every time we do it, it's been a week since
Now,
I've seen the
is
episode.
Agatha a movie or a series?
It's a series. It's a
Okay.
Agatha all along. It's just pretty much
Oh
a
yeah.
continuation of the Scarlet Witch series that we had last time.
Yeah, she was such a tearaway fan favorite that they of course immediately made a spin-off with her.
And
Um,
I with that, it's been real hard to keep
which
like
I,
when we
I
go
I
around.
liked her. I
Well,
really liked Agatha. Yeah.
she's a lot
Is but
cooler
please,
in the show than she is in the comic books.
she's a lot what?
Cooler in the show than she is in the
Oh
comic
yeah.
books. She's got
Oh
more
yeah.
personality. She's totally different character.
But I really, 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 really want them to not make her good, not give an excuse for the evil. That, in my opinion, that is where the one place that they messed up in Cruella
Yeah.
is
Well,
they tried to give her, some no, Cruella's evil. Just let her be evil.
that was one of my problems with all the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Is every single fucking villain was a misunderstood hero of some kind. They were all just anti-heroes. Um, yeah, every one of them, there was a reason. Like Norman Osborn was a good guy until he breathed in the serum, and then he was still kind of a good guy, but he's trapped because of the serum. Doc Ock, good guy, but it was the robot arms that made him evil. A Sandman just doing this for his daughter. Every one of them was a good dude. That the element
Yeah.
around him made him a bad dude. None of them were just bad dudes.
Hold on.
And I'm afraid they're going to do that shit with Doctor Doom too. But
Wasn't there a
sometimes guys
Rhino
just
guy?
need to be bad, huh?
Wasn't there a Rhino guy, or was that Superman?
That's the amazing Spider-Man movies, the 2 they did with Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
So, and they barely scratch. I mean, he was more of a cameo.
Yeah,
They
he was.
didn't really tell you anything about him or anything. But yeah, the Sam Raimi, the first 3, every single villain was
Kelly's
a good guy.
saying it's a bad series. Are you saying Agatha's a bad series, Kelly?
Or he might have been talking about the Sam Raimi ones too, or RoboCop because Berto mentioned that, and nobody likes RoboCop. So
Well, not after the first
I'm
one.
doing that for Berto. Every RoboCop's awesome, but sorry, I could go on more with that. I just forgot. I still got more shit to talk about here. We got our Invincible 3 season 3 Invincible trailer came out, which was just a snippet, but it's looking good. That's a series
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with. I was going to
That
show
is
the
a
trailer
great
for it.
series.
But,
I mean,
the
from episode 1, when Dad turns out to be evil, I
Yeah.
mean, that was, I mean, and they made no bones about it from episode one. And I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
I was actually very happy that it was a series I had not read the comics when I started watching the animation,
Oh, yeah.
because then now since then I've read comics, but they've done a really good job with it. I mean, I've been very
Good.
impressed. Same thing with the boys. I only read a few of the boys when that came out, and if you look at them as two different properties, and they've done some of the stuff in the boys I like better than what they did in the comics. So major kudos there.
Yeah. The boys is good.
Oh, I had on here Agatha mid-season trailer, which I don't know why we got a mid-season trailer, because they didn't miss a beat. They just kept going with it. But they did what we did get, and this might be spoilers if anybody hasn't seen it. I will try not to spoil anything there. Some of the I won't spoil anything. Some of the characters got released as Funko Pops, of course, before they revealed who the characters were in the series. And this is where shit like even what we do drives me nuts, because Frankie and I were talking about theories on who was what character and how that would affect the entire Marvel universe and stuff. And by the time we talked about it to the time I watched the episode that revealed, there was no getting away from it. That stuff was leaked all over. It's on thumbnails and everything else. So I didn't even get that thrill of like, oh crap, that was this character the whole time, and what's that mean?
And that was one of the things, like for the Deadpool Wolverine movie, I fought so hard not to see or know anything.
Yeah.
You know, any trailer, anything coming up, I was instantly turning the phone away so I couldn't see anything. Just fought so hard. And I did really good. I mean, it wasn't even until like 2 or 3 days before I saw it that I knew that the main baddie was a female. And that's it. That's all I knew.
I'm doing that with Venom right now, but the thing is, with Marvel, it's a lot harder because they're so well, I know my Marvel
Pervasive?
better. Huh? They're so invasive. Yeah, there's just so much. And with Deadpool and Wolverine, there were so many Easter eggs in there that were for the fans. Not like some of the other Marvel movies where the Easter eggs are in there just so they can get credibility, or they can get a bunch of YouTube channels talking about them and stuff. The stuff Ryan Reynolds put in there's some stuff I don't even think he cared if anybody caught it. He just wanted to make sure it was in there, and it was stuff genuinely for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard to not follow up, or somebody talks to you and goes, "Hey, man, there's this little thing that's going to be coming out in the movie of for whatever character," and somebody I stayed away from. Like Blade was a genuine surprise for me when he came in, which I got Blade news. So it was hard to stay away from Deadpool like that. But other shows like Craven, I'm staying away from. Venom, I'm staying away from, just so that I can hopefully be pleasantly surprised when I go. Because
I have stayed away from Venom. Yeah, what is this new one? Venom 4?
this 3.
Yeah, 3. I've stayed away from it so hard I haven't watched Venom 2 yet. All right.
Oh, and Venom 2 is not bad. See, Berto put irony. Venom was a good guy in the comics, but evil through and through in the Remy movie. Venom in the comics, that's a lot saying, because so many people have wore the Venom outfit. And depending on how you look at Venom, when he was good and when he wasn't. When he first came out, of course, he had no personality from Secret Wars 8 to Spider-Man number 300. And then after Spider-Man 300, he was evil. I mean, he was genuinely evil. But that character has changed so much. Agent Venom, everything. He's been around long enough that he has become an anti-hero, just like Deadpool. Deadpool was a bad guy, became an anti-hero real quick. That's how it works. Once a character, people like a bad guy, they just turn him into an anti-hero. And I hate that. And that's what they're going to do with Doctor Doom, damn it.
Yeah, I hate that. And that's exactly what they did with Boba Fett.
Yep. Yeah. Let them be bad guys. Sometimes it's cool to go, I like a good bad guy. There's plenty of Lord of the Rings. That's one. There aren't, even though there's characters in there that are ambiguous to both sides, you have evil people and genuinely good people.
Yeah.
You get that D&D from a chaotic good to chaotic evil thing.
Yeah, you get the spread.
let's get that. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this guy's popular enough, we got to make him kind of good. No, no.
That's like I've always harped. That's the thing I loved about um, what was her name, Momo
I was
in
talking about
Dread.
that movie today. Yeah,
Yeah, she was so good at being evil, and they even hinted in there. At one point when they're showing her file and stuff like that, they say that whatever horrible thing happened in her past, but that's it. Then it's gone. After that, she's just evil through and through.
that the reason Dread came up today was because of the Blade news that has been coming out periodically for the last couple of weeks. But um, so we all saw Blade was in Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds has been pushing for um, Wesley Snipes to come back as Blade instead of Mahershala Walker, who is currently cast as Blade. They've gone through, I think, 5 different scripts for the new Blade movie till they finally just last week said, "Yeah, it's just not happening. We're permanently shelving it. Maybe in 10 years we'll do a Blade movie, but Walker is now no longer part of the project. Blade is not happening," which is sad because
Yeah,
they're going to be doing Midnight Suns and stuff that has Blade in it. So it would be nice to establish a good Blade character. Which brings me to I think they're cupping Ryan Reynolds' balls so much right now that if he go and he is genuinely pushing. We had that theory a couple of weeks ago that he was, but he is for sure pushing. I think they're just going to recast Wesley Snipes and give him one more movie to just go out on, and then they might recast during Secret Wars for Blade. But we won't be getting a Blade movie. Well, probably not in the next 10 years, unless this Wesley Snipes thing happens.
right.
But the reason Dread came up was because they were talking about the last script that they just had. Because the first 2 scripts, they tried to go very female heavy with it. So, like, the first script they had for Blade was a bunch of female vampire hunters, and Blade was going to be a secondary character in his own movie. And yeah, Walker turned that down.
Kind of like they did to The Witcher, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely going to be a story about a gang of female vampire hunters, and Blade was going to kind of be a dude that popped in and out every once in a while. But this last script they had, at first they're reading off the synopsis for it, and I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't work. And I realized it's almost the movie Dread. It's he gets stuck in this like apartment building kind of thing that's closed down. There is a female in the building that undisclosed as to who she is in the comics, but somebody from the comics, and she gets pregnant with like immaculate conception with Lilith from the Bible.
Right.
So like the original Eve, and he's got to go take this woman out, and he ends up going to take her out, and then realizing that Lilith needs to live, so then he has to now save it, kind of lone wolf and cub style, or Mandalorian style, or however you want to look at it. But then I started thinking, and it all takes place in one night. It's almost like the whole thing is very cut and dry, and I was like, man, that's not enough to tell the Blade story. And then we started talking about Dread, and I'm like, that's kind of what they did with the Dread story. They didn't go into his origin. They didn't go into anything else. They just told a really good story that if you were a fan of Dread, you enjoyed it. And if you weren't, you still enjoyed it and wanted to learn more. Um, so yeah, that's about it. We're just not getting us a Blade now. And
Now, see, the thing is that I don't know the name of it. All right, but there is. It all started, I think, I want to say in the early, either the early 2000s or the mid teens. There was a movie that came out from South Korea that was a martial arts movie where a a SWAT team basically gets locked down in a slum building, apartment building, just like Dread,
yeah, I
and
think I know
they
who
have
you're
to
talking
kung
about.
fu fight their way, you know, out, and get out while everybody's coming after them. And That
Was
is
this
the, I
the
forget
original
the name of
version?
it, but that's the very first one that I saw with that theme of stuck in the building having to fight your way out like that.
Was it the original version of Contagion? They
No,
ended
it
up
was it
making.
wasn't virus related. It was,
Oh,
it
okay.
was, a mafia overlord kind of gangster who controlled the building. They locked it down, and basically whoever brings the raid. Thank you, Roberto. You rock.
The
It
raid.
was
The
the
raid. Yeah,
raid.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. I've not seen that one, but I've heard nothing but good things. He
Yeah,
said, "But wait, Doctor Doom's a good guy in the comics. I read the latest comics. What are you talking about?" Yeah, yeah. Like I say, they've done it already in the comics with him. Made him an anti-hero, and that's okay because they would do shit like that on occasion. Like in the Iron Man comics, every 50th issue, they would put Doctor Doom and Iron Man doing something, and usually they work together as a team and blah blah blah. And that became tradition. That I'm okay with because it's that random every once in a while. Even though he's a bad guy, he can do something for the greater good that helps him out in the long run or something. But
right.
let him be a bad guy, not just a. I could bitch about that subject forever. I just get tired of that. Um,
All right. Well, we're coming up on an hour, so what else we
okay,
got?
let me hit these last couple things real quick.
All right.
Marvel did get an agreement with Henry Cavill, so Henry Cavill has joined the Marvel Universe.
As
They haven't said yet. I can.
oh,
There's fan theories. My personal favorite would be Captain Britain because I love Captain Britain. However, they've already released their plans for Excalibur, which is Captain Britain's thing, and it's gonna have like the Black Knight, and it's not gonna have any of the original Excalibur team in it except for Captain Britain. So I'm a
maybe
little,
maybe
you
he'll
know,
be Danger Mouse.
ooh man, if they brought Danger Mouse into it, I'd be cool. The creator of Danger Mouse passed away a couple weeks ago. Did you see that?
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
yeah, I am too. I'm hoping Captain Britain. They've said possibly he may be cast for Mister Sinister, which as soon as Secret Wars is over, they're doing the Mutant Saga, which is going to be like Disney's version of all the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And so Henry Cavill may be the main bad guy in that whole series. Um, and he would probably do great at it, but I really hope he's Captain Britain. And speaking of bad guys, they've sent a proposal to The Rock. I don't know if that's going to work, but for The Rock to play Apocalypse in the. So if you watch the last X-Men movie that they did, um, the Apocalypse was played by my mind's going blank. Poe Dameron from Star Wars. He played Moon Knight, and Oscar Isaac played
Okay.
Apocalypse. So now it would be The Rock. Supposedly, The Rock is interested, and they're in talks about it. So I
Well,
don't know if any news has come out on that in the last couple of days, but
The Rock has always wanted his own superhero franchise.
yes.
And so he keeps jumping at all these possibilities. And I just really hope one works out for him.
Well, the thing I wonder too, though, like with The Rock, if he's playing the bad guy, which he doesn't normally do, and he has it in just damn near every contract that he can't get his ass whooped in a fight, how's that going to work out? you know, how are you going to be the bad guy and not be able to get your ass whooped?
Yeah.
They'd have to
And
change.
yeah.
And then the last thing I had, and I'll make it quick because it is a little bit of the DEI kind of stuff, but the movie Wicked came out. I don't know if you saw any in the news on the star of Wicked shooting herself in the foot. The long and short of it is some fans took the movie poster, which was a replica of the play poster, but a little different, so you could see the actors' faces better. Fans took it and just moved like the hat down and a hand up on a character to
And
block the
change the lip
faces,
color. Yeah.
but basically to make it look like the original poster is an homage. By
Yeah.
no means were they saying, "Oh, we don't want this black girl who's playing the witch now because she
No,
shouldn't be
no, it
black."
was nothing about that. There
Nothing
was
about that.
nothing race. They were
All
just making it more look like the stage poster.
right, and that's all it was. And the girl playing the Wicked Witch has come out and said how disgraceful it is, what a horrible thing it is. It's because she's black. It's because all these things,
I
and nobody's pointing those fingers. And she is making it a big stink. and really ruining her reputation in Hollywood right now.
Oh, she is. I mean, I love because I've been reading some of the responses to her. You know, her saying that
Mhm.
this is the worst thing that's ever happened to her, and
Right.
the number of people that go, "I am so happy for her that she is so blessed that this is the worst thing that's
Yeah.
ever happened to her."
Well, and of everything I've watched on it, I haven't Adriana Grande or whatever her name is, the girl that plays
Ariana,
Ariana. Thank you. I
yeah,
should know
yeah,
that. I got a 9-year-old in the house. Um, I haven't heard her say anything like, "Oh," and they covered her face too because they lifted the hand to cover her face. She doesn't talk about the other girl getting her face covered. She only
no,
talks about her getting her face covered. It's a slight
yes,
on her, and it's like
hmm,
it's very obvious they did it to both of you. And it to me, that's more toxic fandom than half of us who have been following, comic books or novels or whatever for video game properties for years and going, we'd like it to be more like the original. This is literally her attacking fans that didn't even bitch to her about it. You know
no.
what I mean? So,
They had not one problem whatsoever. They just wanted the movie poster to look like the theater poster.
mm,
That's their whole thing. They're hardcore fans, and yeah, she's poisoning herself right now. This is what's
and it
going on.
sucks because I wanted that movie to do well, and I hope it does. But
I hope it does well as well. But even though that, I mean, even if it does do well, she's still shooting herself in the foot. I mean, there's actors out there that even though they turned out good properties, the fact that they were such horrible individuals, they people don't want to work with them anymore. Um, yeah,
are we coming back to
there's
Brie Larson again? Because I no,
yeah
just no.
stuff like that, and it's like okay, you were talking about Morbius earlier,
Right.
right? I I I asked Jessica to tell me a single movie that Jared Leto was the star of that's done good.
That he was the star of.
That he was the star of, not that he was in, but that he was the star of. That he did good.
Didn't he do one where he played? Nah, he was among the leading cast. He did one where he played a trans character or something that did real well, right? I can't remember what
Yeah,
that was.
but that was not him as the star. He is
Right.
not a
He,
leading
he
man.
wasn't the title
Yeah,
marquee name.
he is
Um,
not a leading man.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Hmm.
But he's got, and it's weird because he's got a cult following too, like a
And
legit cult
I'm
following.
not sure why. I mean, and
Because he
that's the
runs a
thing is
cult.
I've looked at some of his body of work, and I'm just like, why?
It's because he was in whatever 10, what is it, 10 Seconds to Mars or whatever it's called. Yeah, he's the lead singer of a band
Well,
that was
yeah,
real
but
popular
still,
before.
the band thing came
Mm.
out after the acting.
I thought he did the band first and then got into acting. I could be
Or
very
maybe
wrong,
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
but and he's like, I'm not kidding. He's got a genuine cult as well. So
Yeah, but his cult, pales in comparison to the Swifties, so he ain't got
yeah,
nothing for
oh
them.
yeah, Swifties would destroy him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so that's most of the news I had. I could go on for a while on some of the other
Did you
shit, but that's
did you see that one? I'm trying to remember what it was. I saw a little excerpt of it, but somebody was interviewing Taylor Swift and asked her, with the power of your Swifties, you can get pretty much anything to happen. And she was like, yeah, for good, not evil. And they were like, well, the cost of eggs is too high. Can you talk to the Swifties and get the cost of eggs down? And she looked at the camera and said, Swifties, get on it. And literally within a week, the cost of eggs had gone down like by 25%.
I want to know more. What did they do to implement this
I
shit?
have no fucking. It could have just been total coincidence, but the simple fact, and I think it was eggs. It might have been milk. It was some general produce item,
It
and
it could
but
be total
the
coincidence, but you and I both are thinking it's not. Yeah,
yeah, it could have been
come on.
one. I mean, but still, there is. It makes you wonder at the power of some of these people out there.
Well, heck, they got Meat Canyon to stop making animation. That's that was fucking impressive. So I don't know if you saw that, but he went to pretty much podcasting. He,
Who?
he did Meat Canyon. He's a animator out of Kansas City that does these really dark, morbid videos on YouTube. He's got a huge following. Um, but most of it's satirical stuff, pop culture, and he's done them about all sorts of people. He did one about Taylor Swift, and it was mainly about the Swifties, and it wasn't real bad, but everything he does is in this, like, everybody he draws, he makes them look ugly and nasty, and the Swifties did not like that, so they came after him, and even Taylor had to say, like, leave the guy alone. I mean,
Yeah.
like, and he could have got away with it, but they came after him so hard. He's just like, man, he still does some animation, but he backed away from a ton of shit because it's in this climate. You say or do the wrong thing, piss off the wrong people. You could lose your whole career just like
Yeah.
making one joke.
Yeah.
So,
Theoretically, if I had gathered the ire of the Swifties myself, it could come down hard enough that I could lose my job.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. If they wanted to come after you, they could.
Oh yeah.
But it's like that with any big group on the internet, man. I can get on Reddit and post something up. I want something found, and some people, just for the sheer challenge of it, will hunt somebody down, tell me where they work, what their hours are, and who they've fucked in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of doing it. But anyhow, we should wrap this up because we've been on for an hour, and
Yep.
I can smell.
I think we had a
supper.
good podcast. I think we did a
So
good
Kelly
one.
says he's a shit actor, so I'm sure he's talking about Jared Leto. Berto
Yeah.
says Donnie Darko. I thought Jared Leto was just a side character in Donnie Darko. Because
Tell you the truth, I've never watched Donnie Darko.
really, I've watched the first one a couple times, and the second one, you might like it. It's kind of trippy, and yeah. I don't know that it's quite the cultural I don't know, hit that
No,
everybody
see, that was Jake Gyllenhaal, my man.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's the main guy in it.
Yeah.
I think Donnie Darko might have been a side character, or Donnie Darko, fucking Jared Leto might have been a side character in that. Because that would
I'm
have been about
looking
the time
through the
he started to
cast,
act.
and I don't see him listed as a cast member as of
No,
yet.
maybe not. Just like Jack Black. I like Jack Black as an actor.
I
Of course,
like Jack Black as an actor, but I agree he is not. I mean, there's very few things that. Okay, School of Rock.
Yeah.
But let's tell the truth. That was about the kids.
Jack Black's one of those actors, and I'm okay with this, that when he's acting, he's Jack Black. I've seen him in a couple romantic comedies and stuff that he's done where you're like, okay, he's trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
I think Notting Hill or something was one, or whatever. No, the holiday one where they're exchanging shit. And Shallow Hal was one, I guess.
That was just a horrible movie.
But those when he plays a character, he's Jack Black. Hell, even in the Goosebumps movie, he's still Jack Black.
What about Jumanji 2?
Was he in Jumanji 2? Oh no, you're talking the new Jumanjis. I was thinking, yeah. The first and second one. Yeah, he was. I mean, he played a character and he did good because he played that little girl and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job of playing a 16-year-old who is Jack Black.
I think you got me on that one. I could still say he was very Jack Blackish in the whole thing, but yeah, I think that's a good example.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I mean, I wanted the Pick of Destiny to be good. It was not.
I will still go back and watch that one every once in a while. Just
yeah.
But there's a lot of bad movies I like though.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of actors like that where it's like no matter who. Christopher Walken's a great example too. He's a great actor, but he is Christopher Walken every time he acts.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. And
the only Russian sub-commander with a Scottish accent.
Yeah. And it worked.
Hey, and I say that more actors should play parts with their accent. All right. I am tired of, Kevin Costner trying to do a freaking English accent, stuff like that.
He didn't try.
He sounded like a really, really, hoarse pirate. It was not good.
Berto says, you mean Jumanji 3? There was a Jumanji 2 with Kristen Stewart. That was Zenthura, which is pretty much Jumanji too, but it was Zenthura.
It
It
was.
wasn't a Jumanji, and with Kristen Stewart. So he's talking
I
about the new
I liked
Zenthura.
Zathura.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, that one was directed by damn it. Why is my mind going so blank? Plays Happy Hogan in the Marvel Universe, directed the first Iron Man movie. He directed The Mandalorian and wrote most of that. Jon Favreau.
Yeah,
Jon Favreau directed Zenthura, and I think that is the reason that movie ended up being good, because it was a throwaway sequel, and he made it a good movie.
it was.
Oh, everybody forgets the early. See, we didn't forget it. We know that one real well. I actually, that's another movie I'll go back and watch, because Zach Shepard was the astronaut in that movie, and kiddo from the Hunger Games. I can't remember his name. Was the main kid in it. That was a damn good movie. Anyhow, we should probably tie this up.
I'm trying to find this Jumanji 2.
It's not. It's called Zenthura.
No,
Is
no,
what
I
he's
know
talking about.
Zathura.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about with Kristen Stewart, because she was the older sister that gets frozen in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
Okay.
might have been the first thing I've ever seen Kristen Stewart in, I think.
I think that was the first thing I saw her in, and also Dax Shepard as well.
Yeah. Dax Shepard played the astronaut,
Yeah.
which I'm one of those few people that like Dax Shepard too, but he's another actor. Everything he plays, he's playing Dax Shepard.
Well, it's
He's
like,
not very versatile.
it's like they say that in, let me see, Brad Pitt always has to eat something in one of his movies.
Yeah, Tom Cruise always has to run.
All right. And who was it in Mr. Right?
Oh, Sam Rockwell.
Sam,
He
I,
always
I
dances.
love Sam Rockwell, and he always has to dance.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell is up in probably my top 10 favorite actors.
He is
He's-
great, and I loved him in Mr. Right. Did you watch that?
Yes, watched Mr. Right, liked it a lot.
Yeah, I did. It was
My
just
first
kooky enough. It was great.
my first real introduction, even though I'd seen him stuff before, was him playing Zaphod Beeblebrox in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Which I did not like.
I was not wild about it. The thing that saved it for me was knowing that Douglas Adams actually wrote part of that script before he passed. So it's
My-
like, well, Douglas Adams is cool with it, but I've seen some of the other versions that Douglas Adams did that
I
he
did
just
not
killed.
like. I did not like Zaphoid's double head coming out through his
Right.
throat.
And that was Douglas Adams' idea.
Yeah, that was great, but he was wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Tom Hanks has to pee. Very good, Roberto.
What-
No, Zaphoid has to have the side by
Oh,
side
yeah, he
heads. I'm
probably
sorry.
does. I'm gonna look. Holy shit, Forrest Gump, Green Mile.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna start watching for the having a pee. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, he was peeing in Castaway.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna watch that one. I hadn't heard that one. Sam Rockwell, one of my favorite movies of his is the movie Moon.
I was
seen
just
that?
going to say that.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That one
and
was
give him
deep.
kudos, he carried the whole damn thing. I mean,
Yeah,
carried an
he
entire movie.
well, him and Kevin Spacey.
Was Kevin Spacey in that?
He was the voice of the robot.
Oh, what? Okay. Well, and there was his wife on the teleprompter, but I think that was it.
Yeah,
I think that was
yeah.
the whole.
Other than that, but the first movie that I saw Sam Rockwell in was this really weird movie from way back. Hold on.
Oh, I think I might have saw him in Charlie's Angels 2.
Oh
before
yeah,
that.
we all saw him in that.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was the first movie I saw him in or if it was Hitchhikers, but he was this close to playing Iron Man.
He was
Sam
in
Rockwell?
Poltergeist.
The original or a remake?
Oh, 2015. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was the original, he would have been one of the kids.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking as well. Not Lawn Dogs, not Choke. I'm going back. This is the problem. They don't list his movies. Let me go IMDb. That'll list them chronologically.
So what are you looking? Oh, you're looking for his earliest stuff. I bet
Yeah.
he was a kid actor, and I never realized it.
Um,
He seems like one of those that probably like did a couple commercials and shit before he hit it big.
see, there was Charlie's Angels, Midsummer's Night Dream.
He was in Midsummer Night.
Um,
The like 90s
the
version?
1999 one.
Oh wow. Then I've definitely seen him in that. But
Well, yeah, I loved that one.
yeah, that's where I first started liking Stanley Tucci because he played Puck in that, and was not a fan until then. And even when they cast him, I was like, "That's wrong casting." Then I watched the movie and I went, he's pretty good.
Was it The Soup?
The Soup,
And
like the series.
no, it was a movie. Let's see. No, no, it wasn't that. Damn it. All right, but yeah, he was in Midsummer's Night Dream, and who did he play in Midsummer's Night Dream in '99?
He probably played one of the young couple.
Francis Flute.
I'm not going to pretend I know what character that is.
Me either.
Yeah, I used to know my Shakespeare decent. And
Dude, 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yes, he was in that. That's right. That was the first one and the second one. But yeah, he played one of the
The
gang
first
members,
one,
right?
1990. He was a head thug. That's all he's
Yeah.
credited as.
Now I've seen that just in various videos. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. That 1990 movie came out on my 16th birthday. I remember that. That's what we did for my 16th birthday. Is we all did Ninja Turtle shit all day, like I was an 8-year-old.
That was one of my first experiences where I really started to not like religion, because I was my freshman year in college at the time. No, not religion, religious organizations, because
Yep.
there's this one guy that I was friends with, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was coming out, a movie was coming out, and I asked him if he was going to go see it, and this guy was total geek. I mean, our level, everything, and he said no. He was not going to go see it because his church was against it because it had transcendental meditation in it.
See, and that's
And I was like, okay, this is some stupid shit.
it's an easy way to get. Unfortunately, people like that hurt Christianity, I think. And I don't want to get in a
Yeah.
religious conversation, but
No.
I deal with that a lot where people are like, oh, you're into a lot of fantasy stuff and a lot of different things where you'll go do burlesque shows or do a dirty pirate show. So you're obviously not Christian. It's like, I know, I totally am, and I get so sick of people throwing,
Yeah, I don't
throwing
really
God's name around
remember.
in a bad way.
What was it? Was it when he was on the mound preaching that he said you can't do pirate shit?
Yeah.
Was
Was
that when he
totally it,
said
yeah.
that?
Yeah, and not allowed to drink or have long hair.
Yeah, yeah.
There
Well, I
used to
was
be a guy
turning
in
that
town
water
that-
into wine. I just wanted you to look at it.
there was a preacher in town used to hand me printed pamphlets that you could order these things. I mean, they were all over the country about how long hair is anti-Christian and evil. Think about that for a moment. Think of Samson, the depiction of Jesus and all this, even the depiction of God sometimes, but they just got this from the 70s where hippies had long hair, so they decided long hair was bad. Done. And they put it out as Christian propaganda. I still have some of them somewhere here because
And
it
the thing
baffled me
is,
so much.
having short hair for men did not become a thing until
About
the
100
mid
years
last
ago.
century.
Yeah, a little over 100 years ago. I've talked about this. A lot of tribes used to look at wisdom, length of hair as wisdom. Things like that. There's all sorts of, and
Oh,
Samson and Delilah is a great example of that in the Bible. But I hate people like that because they give Christianity a bad name. That's why I wear that shirt that says Jesus is not religion. Two totally different things.
yeah.
Your faith is one thing. Religion, it's like politics. It's like I can love America but hate American politics.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with religion. I can
Yeah,
I
I
can
remember
love God and hate religion.
a bumper sticker I saw when I was a kid that said, "I love my country. It's my government I hate."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting
And-
into religion and politics. We should
And
stop.
then right next to it, okay, and this was the 80s, so please forgive the verbiage here. But it said right the bumper sticker right next to it said, "Sure, you can trust the government. Just ask a whale or an Indian." It didn't say Native American. It said Indian.
I I don't have my list of festivals up right now, but I do know for those local here in Wichita, this weekend is Cowtown's hay bales and their haunted attraction, hay bales and horse hooves. Sorry, couldn't think
Now,
of it.
isn't there another con coming up here soon in
Yeah,
November?
yeah, we've got Air Capital Comic Con coming up here in Wichita. We've also got Kansas Comic Con, which will be its first year here at Century Two. And
Now,
they got
are we going to
good
support
guests.
that? Because we know that that is outside investors
I
trying to ruin
I
the scene
hate
for us.
I hate that is outside investors coming in and trying to hurt things locally because that's the kind of attitude that ends up destroying a convention community
Yeah.
all over the country.
Although I am happy we have gotten big enough to have somebody try that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, and Wizards was doing that like crazy. Wizard World up
Oh, yeah.
until the pandemic, I don't know how many times they contacted me trying to get things to happen here and wanted me to work with them. And it's like, yeah, you guys come in, you're just going to hurt all the people that have went out and taken those risks, started these festivals, and so
Yeah.
yeah, I worry about that. But I don't know the people that are running this con personally. And damn it, they got the voice of Daphne there. I want to go see that. Um, they've got the uh, the voice of uh, Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and I've talked to him before, and I never got a chance to really.
Hold on. Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go?
Same guy.
Okay, cool.
He's also the well, he plays a lot of characters, but he's also the king in Walking Dead. The guy.
I couldn't get past the first season with all those nicely mowed lawns.
You're all right. You're all right. I get it. I still have yet to watch the final season or any of the spinoffs of Walking Dead just because it just got burned out. I love it.
It is almost 8:30, and I got to go make sure this boy eats.
Me too. It's good talking to you. Good seeing everybody. Oh, wait. Berto said, corn cares not for what blood flows, my religion. All right. Night, guys. Hugs and kisses. We'll see y'all later.
See you next week.
Dun-dun-dun.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We are off, and